Ryan Newman is a one-of-a-kind NASCAR driver. Why? He has characteristics and character that a lot of NASCAR drivers lack. Every driver knows he's the toughest car to pass every week. And not only is he the toughest car to pass, but he's one of the toughest guys off the track too. Just ask Clint Bowyer. At last year's All-Star race, he went up to punch Newman. The catch is that he had his helmet on and Newman was buckled in the car and couldn't even fight back. Put those two in an arena, and I bet Bowyer would have not been near as brave. Newman is not afraid to go after other drivers himself, and he'll definitely say what's on his mind.
It's just disappointing. I mean, I wish NASCAR would do something. It was a boring race for the fans. That's not something anybody wants to see. At least I hope not. If they do, go home because you don't belong here. And a product of this racing and what NASCAR's put us into with this box, with these restrictor plates, with these types of cars, with the yellow line, with no bump draft and no passing. And drivers used to be able to respect each other and race around each other. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby Allison, all those guys have always done that. And I guess they don't think much of us anymore.
Besides this, he's been a huge advocate for safety in the sport. After his bad wreck in 2009 at Talladega, he campaigned for NASCAR to improve the car's safety features to further protect drivers. This resulted in the organization implementing a bar across the front of the roll cage nicknamed the Newman bar. Coincidentally, this helped save his life in his crash earlier this year at Daytona. Newman's the only current NASCAR driver to have a degree, which he obtained from Purdue University in engineering. William Byron right now is currently a student at Liberty University. He doesn't have his degree yet, so Newman still remains to be the only driver to have a college degree. Besides all of that, the thing that makes Ryan Newman stick out the most is his nickname. Not everyone is called the Rocketman. Not Jimmy Johnson, or Kevin Harvick, or Kyle Busch, but Ryan Newman. Why is this? You look at his wins and you see 18 wins, which isn't bad by any means, but not deserving of the nickname Rocketman. You have to focus on the poles column to really understand how fast this man is. Newman currently has 51 poles. That's almost half of what Richard Petty had, which is the most in history. What's even crazier is that this is the most of any active driver, and it's not even close. Jimmy Johnson has 36 poles, which is the second most of all current NASCAR Cup Series drivers. This is 7-time champ Jimmy Johnson in almost 20 seasons of racing, not even close to the amount of poles that Ryan Newman has. The craziest thing is that in only his 5th full-time season, Ryan Newman was able to surpass 36 poles. Ryan Newman had more poles in his first 5 seasons than Jimmy Johnson, Harvick, Kyle Busch, or anyone in the current Cup Series lineup has in their 15 to 20-year-old careers. This is why he's the Rocket.
All the way down. Quicker yet. 198 miles per hour off into turn 3. And remember, the backstretch is the shortest straightaway.
First lap was 2/10 off the track record that Rusty set in 2000.
It's coming back. There's the green. It's going to be there.
It is 26.931.
He only has 8 starts, and he leads the series in laps led. Whoa! He picks it up another 10th to 30.93. Get you some of that. How about that?
Early, oh yeah.
This is going to be maybe in the 50s, looks like. 1950s, let's see it.
Survey says
1951, almost in the 40s. That breaks the old track record by 3.5 tenths.
So now we're going to take a look at his statistics and really break down his pole positions and how fast he was, especially in his early years. His first pole position came in his 3rd ever race. This was at Charlotte in the 2001 Coca-Cola 600, where he crashed out on lap 11. He was a part-time driver at the time. Now, I would love to take a look at Newman's whole career and impressive results and his finishes, but today we are just focusing on his pole positions in that category. In 2002, his first full-time season, he grabbed 6 poles with the best average starting position of all drivers with a 9.8. The next season, 11 poles. 11 poles. He won pole for almost 33% of the races in the 2003 season. Not to mention, he started in the top 5 on 12 other occasions as well. Out of full-time drivers, he had the best average starting position with an average start of 6.7. He could qualify 7th and it would be considered a bad day. 2004 was also very successful, grabbing 9 poles that season. Once again, he had the best starting position out of all other drivers by far. He had 8 more poles in 2005, with an average starting position of 6.3. The next best was 11.5 by Jeff Gordon. He was over 5 positions on average ahead of the second best qualifier that year. In the first half of the decade, he was literally untouchable in qualifying. In 2006, he could only manage the 4th best average starting position and only grabbed 2 poles. By his standards, it wasn't good enough. In 2007, he rebounded with 5 poles, however, he only managed the 5th best average starting position. A few down years led to 2010, where he managed 4th best average start. Poles were sprinkled throughout the middle part of his career from 2008 to 2013, not really dominating. In 2011, he had a small comeback and won 3 pole awards. 2012, he had the 5th best average start, but he didn't have any poles. 2013 would be the last of Newman's glory years, and he would get his final 2 poles to date. Recently, he's been nowhere near really the top 10 in qualifying, especially this year with the random draw. It's completely random. Skill, not a factor. So some of the story, Newman was the qualifying king for nearly 10 years. Unfortunately, Newman's racecraft wasn't as great as his qualifying craft. Even if his racecraft was just as good as his qualifying efforts, he had to be one of the greatest racers of all time, hands down. Sadly, when you look at the record books, you see wins and championships, not poles. The pole is a truly forgotten statistic, and that's probably because it really doesn't matter. Besides some momentum to carry in the race pace is much more of a factor than where you start, and it's more common than not for someone to start outside the top 5 or top 10 and win. I know it's a random draw right now, and it's not really the same as qualifying, but who started first last week? I guarantee only a small fraction of people watching this video can remember. I can't even remember, and I watch every lap of every race. With all that said, Newman's success should be appreciated and respected, because he's done something that a lot of even great drivers haven't been able to achieve. Ryan Newman is truly the Rocketman. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. This was a really fun video to make. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and leave a comment on what video I should do next. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Can he hang on? It'll be close. Newman or Johnson? Checkered flag. I did it. Newman, the last driver to run. New track record. Ryan Newman does it.
99, he won. Great job.
And he made it into the 47nd bracket.
Guys. Thank you so much.